As every good gardener knows, to have a good garden, you have to have some place to develop compost, and gardeners call it black gold. And you can see why they call it that. See how rich this is? It's leaves and stuff from the garden. I have one here, and if you look over these lilies here, you'll see one over there behind the greenhouse. Here are my big bushes that you've seen before. They gave their usual double crop this year, the healthiest they could be. And again, you can see I used leaves to retain the moisture. Here's the raised garden that I showed y'all back on August the 10th. And I said I would have to keep it watered. I have a soaker hose here. Runs across here, 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 over there. It's under the black gold. And as you can see, since August the 10th, it has done real well. Have to water it every 2 or 3 days for 3 to 4 hours. Here's a a purple plum tree. I planted it back in the spring, and it's grown 2 feet or so. It put out some blooms this year, but they will mature, and I just picked them off. Here's my second raised garden, and you can see the irrigation system is a soaker hose. Takes very little water, but it puts the water where you want it. And here's a project I did Sunday. I used to raise blueberries, and I quit it about 20 years ago, and I'm back in it. You can see the mulch covering the ground around the plants. Plus I had put peat, moistened peat in the holes to set the blueberries in. And it blew my mind when I got through. I had planted 13. I purchased 10, and I had 3 in the woods, and it's really surprised me. Of course, I'm watering them every day, but as you can see, they have not wilted, and we are currently in this section of Piedmont setting a record for the 4th driest summer we've ever had. Here's some okra from Louisiana, and here's your typical okra we raise. It's called Crimson. Planted these 2 rows a little over a week ago. One of them is yellow onions, one of them is white onions. Now these are winter crops, winter fall. Here's a row of cabbage, cauliflower. This is mostly broccoli. Another row of broccoli. And here's a row, partial row, 18 plants of curly kale. Here is my row of, not this row, it's just a patch of turnips. And again, I use my soaker hose, have 150 feet, and I have to water all this stuff that's in the ground less often than I do the raised beds. So I'll be watering most of this once a week if we don't get a shower. Come back over here. As you can see, my greenhouse is empty of plants, and come February I'll crank it back up and raise my spring summer crops. This is a different type kale here. I don't know if y'all know this, but kale gives you more vitamins and other good stuff than any other green crop that you can raise. Most of this is broccoli. There might be something else in here. Here's some spinach. It looks poor, but it just got planted yesterday. And I believe I put some other over here in this other raised bed. Yes, I did. There's some there, some there, some there, some there. But everything's doing fine. Yours truly's doing fine. Still messing with this vertigo crap, which I'll probably have the rest of my life, but I manage. As soon as I get all this under control, which will probably be tomorrow, I'll start back fishing. And I haven't missed anything on the water. The fishing's been poor due to the hot weather and no influx of new water. Oh, here's the most important thing about a garden. You've got to have a bench. And this thing serves two purposes. You can sit on it, or if you want to get down on your knees and work in the garden, just flip it over. Here are my two workhorses. This is a Troy-Bilt tiller that I purchased in 1981. It's a 7 horsepower horse, and it's never been in the shop. Never had a tune of it except what I do. And here's my Gorilla wagon, which I use for just about any and everything. A storage building there, and here's my shed where I store fertilizer and other stuff. And these metal racks is what I use to dry my garlic, onions, and those type of crops. And my garlic is supposed to be shipped next week. So there's my baby. Real proud of it. Believe it or not, these things sold for $1,500 back in 1981. And I can get $1,000 to $1,500 from a gardener that knows his equipment. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching.